this facility, we recycle the construction demolition material. It comes in a commingled form, meaning that there's concrete, brick, block, wood, metal, drywall, all sorts of different items that are all in the same container. And what this facility that we're at today is to segregate those materials and send them to final market for final use or final processing. First step in the process is the trucks deliver the load here, and then we go through a pre-sort where we check to make sure that the items that we're going to be going through are all items that we want to send up the sort line. After the loads have been dumped, they get pushed into the building, where then you see the backhoe operator will then pick up the material and drop it onto a large conveyor belt. The mixed construction material is coming up the apron feeder and it's dropping onto a finger screen deck where it has been sorted into 3 different sizes. The larger materials are going to be hand sorted, are going to come over the top. The other material that's 3 to 8 inches is going to drop down below. That product will then have metals taken off, aluminum's taken off, and various other products. What'll drop down to the bottom deck will be items like gravel, dirt, rock that can be used for building roads. At this stage in the process, the 3 to 8 inch material is coming off a separate conveyor belt where it's automatically separating out all the smaller mid-sized metal products and dropping it into this container. After each shift, this container will be all the way filled up with ferrous steel. At this stage, they're separating metal products, cardboard, paper, 3 different types of wood, concrete, brick, block, rigid plastics, vinyl siding, carpeting. All these items are being picked by each person. They each have different bins and items that they're looking for and separating out throughout this recycling process. This bunker over here is right now receiving clean wood that can be used for mulch recycling. We have other types of wood that will be used for the wood to energy, replacing coal. It's using clean wood to power a power plant. On a daily basis, we ship out almost 100 tons of product for energy. We have a conveyor belt that's actually separating out gravel, grit, and concrete and rock that is actually used for building roads. Next, we have cardboard, paper products. All the unpainted drywall, we actually separate out and we send that off for further processing. They'll take the drywall paper that's on it, shred it, and mix it with wood for animal bedding. They'll take the gypsum that's left over and grind it to almost a flour type consistency, and they'll use it for land application as a soil amenity. We're separating out concrete, brick, and block and dropping into the container, and that will be crushed and used for also road building. They're re-siding a house. Not only aluminum siding gets recycled, but also vinyl siding. And vinyl siding is new to the market, came about in the past 2 to 3 years, but has really taken off, and that recycling is now available to all of our contractors as well. Ferrous metals, which is all the steel, and that product is dropping down through the sorting process where it can also be recycled and turned right back into steel. One of the items that we recycle for throughout the construction load, as part of the construction and demolition process, is we find in our loads carpet padding as well as carpeting. Carpet padding, we separate out the material, then they'll take this material and they'll shred it and they'll use it for various products that they'll return to market with. This bin is nylon carpeting, which can be used within the automotive industry. It gets baled and then gets melted back down, and it's nylon, and nylon's a readily used material through manufacturing various types of plastic parts. During another part of the recycling process are magnets that are separating out different types of nails, screws, nuts, and bolts, and this is done automatically with a magnet belt. So these hundreds of tons of nails all go right back to market, getting melted down and used within steel products throughout the United States. After the wood has been separated out during the recycling process, then it's brought over where the material has been shredded, and then the product can either be used for wood for mulch, for dyed mulch, or this wood can be used for wood to energy. We use an 800 horsepower Vermeer shredder that actually shreds the material to make the spec for the wood to energy facility and also for making wood for mulch. It shreds big 2x4s to little particles like this. When a roofer comes by and tears off the roof, they put it in a container, and then that container is brought to the facility. This product is then ground to a texture that almost looks like black sand. That material is then blended with asphalt at the asphalt plants that can be then used to help build strong roads and cuts down on the use of the amount of crude oil that has to be used to make asphalt for pavement. During the recycling process, we get all sorts of different types of materials as well, such as brick, concrete, clay, various other types of items that can be used throughout the construction industry as a reuse in the building process. So if you can just imagine all this wood and carpeting and metal and asphalt shingles and concrete brick and block used to be just dumped in the local landfills. And now as landfills have gone farther and farther away, we have now figured out alternatives to use to recycle all these products for green buildings, LEED construction, and just to save the planet and save our earth and putting it to good use.